This episode of Outside the Rack is brought to you by Kinetic Performance, the makers of the leading tool to measure barbell performance, the Gymaware. There is obviously a reason that the man who wrote the book on velocity-based training, Dr. Brian Mann, calls the Gymaware the Rolls-Royce when it comes to velocity-based training measuring devices. And that's because it ticks a lot of boxes when it comes to being able to measure and monitor your athletes that you get to work with. Working in velocity-based training at this time, of course, this is the tool to use. You're going to be able to take the guesswork out and have target zones set for your athletes so they're ready to roll. Power and strength analysis, yup, tick that box as well. Power drives the fastest sprints and breaks the hardest tackles, and you'll be able to make sure you're in the right zones with each lift when using the Gymaware. So hop on over to kinetic.com.au today to learn what Evan and the team have in store for you with the Gymaware. Being a practitioner in the world of sport performance is a challenging situation. We're in a spot where you're always asked to search for more. But more what? What are the questions that most practitioners in the world of high performance are asking? Well, where can I find cutting-edge information? Where can I find different opinions and different ways of doing things and different feedback that I can get on the training that we're utilizing? And where's a place where I could find like-minded individuals to give me solid advice when it comes to my career development? This is precisely why we built the Strength Coach Network. Within the Strength Coach Network, you're going to get exclusive content monthly from some of the top practitioners in the world, bringing you the most cutting-edge information. You tie that in with a forum where you're able to connect with coaches around the world to bounce ideas off of, to learn from, and to get career advice from, and you've got your sensational one-stop shop for all things career development for strength and conditioning coaches. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com/CVASPS. That's strengthcoachnetwork.com/CVASPS to dive into all that great content today and get your 48-hour trial for only $1. I look forward to seeing you in the Strength Coach Network. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the third episode of Outside the Rack, brought to you by Kinetic Performance, the makers of Gymaware. In this show, we're going to try to dive a little deeper into the minds of some of the top practitioners in the sport performance world and learn a little bit more of who they are and how they got to where they are today. Today, we are joined by the founder, owner, and the dude that started Body Creations Incorporated, Andy McCloy. Andy, thanks for being with us, bro.
Thanks, man. That's a great introduction right there. I dig it.
I love it. I love it. So listen, man, before we get started, who is Andy McCloy?
I'm a father. I'm a son. I'm a friend. I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. And if you notice, I didn't use the term strength coach because I definitely am a strength coach by trade, but I think that's a very limiting job title. I'm just somebody that's here to make an impact on those people close to me and those people that have an interest in what I got to say.
I love it, brother. I love it. So let's get right to the three here, man. The first question, could you please describe a learning situation that brought about an epiphany in your career?
I mean, I could probably give you a million of them, but I think the thing that changed my career, at least my focus on how I coached athletes and how I communicate with people as a whole, would have to go back to my time when I was a strength coach at Madison Academy High School, well over a decade ago. There was a pretty good ball player there named Jordan Matthews, who's now a receiver with the 49ers, and he was a kid that I really struggled to get to do things the way I wanted him to do them. And I coached him the way that I was coached. I cussed, I yelled, I screamed, I demanded. And that never seemed to work with him. And one day, and I can't remember if it was before a game, after a game, but, we embraced each other, and he said, "I love you." And when he said that to me, it was like it shocked me. It was like I didn't even know what to say back. But if I trace back when, like, my heart kind of softened and I started to use my head a little bit more in regards to coaching, it was after that moment. And Jordan made me really face that quote, nobody cares what you do until they know how much you care. I didn't care if kids knew that I cared about them initially. I just wanted them to do what I wanted them to do, and I wanted them to do it now. And I was a pretty pitiful coach, probably for the first 7 years I was a coach. But Jordan taught me to lead with my heart. He taught me there's different ways to communicate with people to persuade them to get the outcome out of them that you want.
I love that, man. I love that. I think that a lot of people have run into that one or that one athlete or that one group of athletes that really drove them down that path.
Yeah, for sure.
That's sensational, man. So listen, let's get to number 2, brother. If you were to ask one question that you know you could get the answer to, what would that be and why?
See, this is a really hard one, but I think if I knew I could get the answer that I would want is like, how do I become truly fulfilled and happy? Now, I've probably read every book on the subject of happiness that exists, Happiness Advantage, Solve for Happy. I could go on and on and on. And I've put a lot of these things in practice, a lot of the strategies, from having purpose that drives you to having a clearly defined value system and living in congruence with it, searching out activities that provide fulfillment and fun and connection. But, happiness it's an elusive thing. And I think a lot of us that are in these type of environments, we struggle with that at times, because a lot of times your worth is defined by wins and losses. And I think that affected me when I was younger. And I'm still looking for happiness through expansion these days. And what I mean by that is constantly growing and evolving in every area of my life. And I wish I had some confirmation that was the right strategy, based on everything that I know and I've read and I've put to work. It certainly feels like I'm going down the right road. But, I would love to know, like, what's the real key to happiness? You hear a lot of people, throw around cliche sayings around that topic, but being happy and staying happy is a much more elusive thing that I think a lot of people give it credit for.
No doubt. That's killer. I love that. And then the third and final one, my friend, what's your escape?
So, I think that, this one kind of ties back into the happiness thing in some ways. So, like, I try to have intentional practices and activities that aren't really involved in my work life. For me, meditation has been a huge escape in regards to that. Shooting a pistol has been a huge escape and benefit to me. Practicing a language. I've been studying Spanish now for about 6 months every day. And I've noticed that has a real powerful way of getting me out of my head, and forcing me to be present. So, walking in nature, those are, I go on really long walks, almost every day. And I try to find nature as much as possible when I do it. And then hanging out with my daughter. When I'm with my daughter, she has this way of closing the world down. Like, I know in my soul that my most important role at that moment is to be her father. And while that's not an escape from all responsibility, it's certainly escape from a lot of the things that tend to stress many of us out who live in the coaching profession. So by being able to be present with my daughter, I'm able to escape some of the things that add more stress to my plate than I think they should.
I love it, dude. I love it. 3 killer answers. Andy, can't thank you enough, brother. Truly appreciate your time.
No problem, man. It was awesome. Always happy to connect with you. It's always a good time.
Yeah, brother. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Yep. Take care.